Afternoon. I hope that everyone is well. Happy New Year. I would like to call this meeting of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation to order. I am Michelle Cummings Steele. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll move now to our appeal of decisions pursuant to the provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws. Please take notice that decisions of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for review under a common law writ of certiorari. Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. We'll move now to the consideration of our minutes. Have you all had an opportunity to read the minutes from our December meeting? And if so, I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. We'll move now to Metro Council referrals. Are there any referrals from council members present? Director Odom.
There are none today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll move now to our public comment period. We did not have anyone to sign up today. Okay. Thank you. We'll move now to old business 12-24-08. Staff requests approval of proposed fee changes for the department and summary of changes. The proposed fee summary changes are for programs adjusted fees based on surveys of other cities and facilities. This is council districts citywide. You all received this information in December for review. I'll accept a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, is there any discussion over the?
Yes. I think I'm interested in understanding what the process would be. Well, two things. One is how are the fees communicated, just so that people are aware of what they will be. And then second question is, what is the process for someone to show a hardship or show that they qualify for getting a reduction in the fee?
Thank you for those questions. I'll just say one of the reasons we start so early, our internal working team started looking at our fees across the department last summer. And one of the reasons we do that is, first, so we can be thorough and comprehensive, and then two, is to give you all as park board members time to review and consider, and then an opportunity to provide notice to park patrons. So we will post the fee changes where they're applicable in community centers, sportsplex, post them physically there, but then also using social media and our website, notify folks of the fee changes. And these fee changes, some will are proposed to take effect in April when golf starts again, and then some of our leagues, and then some take effect July 1. So our intent is to make sure people have plenty of notice. And then to your second question, that is merely the individual would just address the manager of the facility. They could let the facility manager know, or the program manager know that they have a hardship, communicate that to them. Yeah.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, we do have a motion to approve and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. 12-24-09, the Sylvan Park Neighborhood Association requests permission to replace the existing sign in Richland Park. This is Council District City 24. The signage committee met this morning. Is there a report from the committee, Commissioner Johnston?
Yes, we unanimously approved the change.
Unanimous approval. Thank you so much. Is there a motion from the board?
Make a motion to approve.
Yes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much. The motion passes. We'll move now to our consent agenda. Director Odom, are there any comments?
No comments or revisions.
Okay, any questions from the board? All righty, I'll accept a motion to accept the consent agenda in its entirety.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. We're moving now to new business 1-25-02. The Metro Historical Commission, MHC, requests acceptance of an in-kind grant valued at approximately $25,000 to reconstruct the historic Summer House gazebo in Sevier Park adjacent to Sunnyside. The Nashville Historical Foundation, formerly the MHC Foundation, Friends of Sevier, 12th South Neighborhood Association and the Preservation Society of Nashville have agreed to split the cost for construction of the building. MHC agrees to maintain the building going forward if approved. There is no required match or other obligation by Metro Parks associated with this grant. No money will be sent to Metro Parks. All projects will be paid for directly by the MHC. And this is Council District 18. Honoring the request, board members, honoring the request of the Historic Commission, we will defer this item to the February meeting. They still have some things they want to cover. Okay. 1-01-25-03. Get it together. Staff requests renewal of a partnership agreement between Metro Parks and the Belmont University's occupational therapy program to provide valuable hands-on experience for Belmont University occupational therapy students while simultaneously enhancing the services and programs offered by Metro Parks Disabilities Program. This partnership aims to create a mutually beneficial arrangement that benefits both organizations and ultimately the community. This is Council District 21. I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All righty. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion passes. We're moving now to 01-25-04 in accordance with Park Policy 3000.31, establishment and operation of not-for-profit friends or support groups. The Friends of Lockland Springs Park requests approval to establish an official Metro Parks Friends Group, Council District 6. I have been advised that all required documents are in order and have been submitted for this application. Is there a motion from the board?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All righty. I would like to emphasize compliance with the Friends Group policy, and that information has been provided in your packet in alignment with the department as the lead organization. We do require that as we are establishing this new Friends Group, and so I will accept a motion. Did I already do that?
Yes.
We need to vote. It's January 7th. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you so much. The motion passes. Congratulations. We look forward to working with you. 01-25-05, the Arts Bellevue Community Foundation, Bellevue Harpeth Chamber of Commerce, Bellevue Harpeth Historic Association, and the Exchange Club of Bellevue requests approval to rename Bellevue Park to Red Caboose Park, Council District 22. And we are deferring this to the naming committee. So we are moving now to special presentations. Live Nation to present an annual update to the board. Live Nation are you Miss Alessi Nair?
I am.
Thank you so much. Ascend Amphitheater General Manager, you have 7 minutes.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. My name is Alessi Nair. I'm the GM of Ascend Amphitheater, and we're going to go through our 2024 Ascend Amphitheater season recap. Great. We'll run through the agenda real quickly. We'll go through our recap, and then we'll go through some numbers specific to the 2024 events. We'll go through some economic impact, our DBE numbers specifically, our sustainability and community impact, some venue improvements, and take a look at 2025. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone in the Parks Department, the Parks Board, all of our first responders, especially Parks Police, and all of our community partners. So thank you very much. I want to introduce our team real quick. I think you all know Sally Williams, who's our president of Nashville Music and Business Strategy. We've got Brian Benson as our senior talent buyer, Janine Beeson's our vice president of operations, and Brogan Barker is our ops manager. In terms of our 2024 events at Ascend, we had 9 events that were civic, symphony, or special events. Those included CMA Fest, Cypress Hill with the Symphony, 4th of July, an event called Red Bull Jukebox, Americana Festival, among others. We had 30 Live Nation promoted shows, which was a variety of genres, including Ivan Cornejo, Creed, Boyz II Men, Avril Lavigne, Lainey Wilson, etc., for a total of 39 total events. Like I said, we had 30 total of promoted shows. 47% of music fans at Ascend were from the Nashville area in 2024. We had 154,000 fans go through the building. 86% of fans said they would recommend the venue. And we have about 290 employees. That's a combination of full-time staff and seasonal staff. This is our direct economic impact. I will say these numbers are actuals through November, and then our December spend is forecast, so those will be firmed up once we settle December. So Metro revenue and taxes was just shy of 1.4 million, with 340,000 for local tax and the remainder in state tax. Our F&B sales tax revenue was 474,000. Our liquor sales tax revenue was 286,000. Metro revenue specifically was 985,000 total, with 780 being base rent and seat fees, and 205,000 being our charitable contributions, which was split between the Nashville Parks Foundation and the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee. Speaking of the Nashville Parks Foundation, we really appreciate our partnership with Luis, Bryant, and everyone else at the Parks Foundation. This year, our contribution was up to 115,000, which was slightly elevated from last year, which was 108. Fort Negley, we did a Earth Day volunteering, which we've never done before. This is one of the photos we got. It was actually the most flattering one. We had some other ones where we were deep in it, so it was fun. We had a great time, and that's a tradition we're going to continue moving forward, so that was cool. We'll look at our DBE numbers specifically. So our percentage in 2024 was about 28.5%, with a qualifying spend of $1 million. Bringing our total DB percentage since opening to 27% for a total of $5.3 million. We'll talk about our sustainability. This year, we had a couple new programs that we diverted 65 tons of waste for a total of 131,000 pounds of waste diverted, which included 36,000 pounds of compost, 86,000 pounds of recycling, and 8,500 pounds of donations, which is a 43% trash diversion rate, which is pretty good. We had our Turn Cup program, which I think you'll remember from last year, where we have reusable cups that go off-site and get washed. So we avoided almost 55,000 plastic cups, and we had 833 pounds of plastic eliminated. Our cup return rate was 84%, which saved over 2 tons of CO2 emissions. So that's a program we're really proud of. In terms of our community impact, I'll run through some of the donations. Compost Nashville is one of our partners. We donated almost 37,000 pounds of compost, which then went to plant the seed. We worked with Habitat for Humanity for a bunch of various items there. Justice Industries was about 26,000 pounds of glass recycled. Musically Fed, which I'll touch on more in a second, we had about 3,500 pounds of food donated, and then we worked with Nashville Rescue Mission for 457 pounds of donated items. TerraCycle was 128 pounds of cigarette butts, vinyl gloves, and solo cups. Goodwill, 129 pounds of donated items. SA Recycling, who's a new partner of ours, we had about over 1,600 pounds of metal recycled. Waste Management was 56,000 pounds recycled. Turnip Green Creative Reuse, 219 pounds, and then 98 pounds of blankets to the Nashville Humane Society. Like I mentioned, we partnered with Musically Fed again. This is our food donation program from our backstage catering. This year we donated 2,930 meals just this season alone, and then bringing our total up to 8,543 meals since we started this program. Our partners are Matthew 25, Room at the Inn, and Nashville Rescue Mission, so that's something we're really proud of. Legends, our concessionaire, worked with many NPOs at the amphitheater. This is a list of some of them. This year, that contribution was up to $166,000, bringing our total since opening the amphitheater to over $1 million. In terms of 2025, we have a couple updates for our concession infrastructure, an improved staff break area. This is one of our capital improvements we had in 2024, which is this water station, where we've never had a smart water station. I thought it was kind of interesting. So we had almost 1,900 gallons of water consumed from this station alone. 12,000 plastic bottles were refilled and saved, and a reduction of 1.1 metric tons of CO2 plastic. So feeling pretty good about that. Here's a look at our 2025 event schedule. Obviously, some of these are still in flux, but in pretty good shape for the first week of January. And thank you so much. Here's to 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? All righty, seeing none. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time. We're moving now to consolidated maintenance to present the annual update to the board. Phil Luckett, you have 7 minutes, Mr. Luckett.
Just 7. All right. Well, first off, while it gets up there, I want to thank the park board and Director Odom for their support of the maintenance division, because without that support, we couldn't do what we need to do. Also, the council and the mayor's office for helping us with funding for some of these, what you're going to see here. Because what I'm going to show is mostly capital projects and what we got completed this year. The operational stuff, I'll go right at the beginning just to remind you, operational is kind of our day-to-day stuff, what we do every day. So that would be too much to go over. And all the projects we got done would be too much to go over. So this is going to be a highlight. There we go. So just a quick review, 16,000 acres, 178 parks, 100 plus miles of greenway. All that we take care of with 188 full-time employees, 450 allocated assets, which is controlled by fleet management, and 200 that we have bought ourselves. We also do 52 park buildings, so we have our custodians, we have mechanical staff that helps take care of those, sports fields, our recreational facilities, including playgrounds, pools, splash pads, and 8 dog parks. We also mow and take care of all the grass and all the landscaping at the Centennial Amphitheater. Also, we are involved in quite a few special events throughout the year, including the big ones. So we're going to meet our team here and go through here. The first person, don't pay any attention to that guy. There's that guy. So he is supposedly in control of all of it, but maybe not. So, but our first important person, Mark Watkins here, is our superintendent of grounds. And they do all of the paving, all of the court projects, all of the playground projects. The first big playground project we did last year, our biggest playground project, was Fannie Mae D's, also known as Dragon Park. There was a 2 to 5 and a 5 to 12 there. This is the 5 to 12. This project caused, to say it politely, some angst in the community when we took the other one down, but we had no choice. We couldn't get parks for the 5 to 12, and the 2 to 5 was just playground pieces sitting on the ground. Not a lot of play activity there. So this was done, go back. This was done this year, and the turnaround was that now we got invited and given a certificate by the community for their appreciation for this project. So we felt pretty good in the end. A little iffy there for a while, but we felt pretty good in the end. The 2 to 5 playground is a nice separate area for those who feel like they're a little too young to be on the big stuff with the big kids. We like trying to do 2 separate playgrounds so that the 10 to 12-year-olds are challenged. So having the 2 to 5 separate means we can give them the challenge that's appropriate for their age group, and then also move forward with the bigger kids so they can still feel challenged. Because if you get something that's easy enough for a 2 to 5-year-old, a 10 or 12-year-old is not going to get much fun out of it. We feel like that way. All right. Reservoir Park was our last wooden playground left. It was well over 20 years old, was becoming an issue. So at Reservoir Park, we decided to replace the whole playground. There's a lot of new activity, apartments, condos going up over there. So we feel like if there's children who move into those areas, they will have a really nice playground there right across the street for them to play at. This is Pitts Park. It was in rough shape. decided it was up for replacement. Unfortunately, there's no room there for swings. There never has been. Like to add those in the future, but we just don't have space at the moment there. Chute Park. This one was a little more than just a surface replacement. All that surface replacement, the PIP there you see, the light color material, that's about $45,000, $50,000 to replace that. So these things are expensive. And we also, I took a picture of the steps, all these decks are all new. We replaced a lot of decks to improve this park. Pretty close to Napier, so it gives the kids there a place to go and to play. More border and surface replacement here. This is at Morgan. And let's see here. We'll skip that one because I think I misnamed that one. Sorry, when there's 178 of these and about 46 of these are at schools, I get a little confused sometimes. Norman Binkley Elementary, Creve Hall, surface replacement, huge surface replacement at Creve Hall. It's a big, big area. We didn't do the swings because those are old swings, and we need to, at some point, replace those swings. Both of these are Metro Parks playgrounds, but they are at elementary schools. So there's 46 of those that we maintain for MNPS and for the public too. Getting into paving, we spent about $5 million last year in paving. We did probably 30 plus projects in paving. Let's give you a couple here real quick. This is Jolton Park. We did all the parking lot and the walking track. Got a little bit more of the walking track to do. Whites Creek Park, a maintenance road that also connects with the schools. That was done. One of the big paving projects that was really important to us, it's on the next slide, Stones River Greenway. This greenway was in deplorable condition in this section right here that goes out onto Stewart's Ferry Pike. You couldn't hardly walk it, much less ride a bike on it. It was so bad. So there was not enough stone originally put in, we believe, to the underneath the asphalt. So this was all fixed with the correct amount of stone, the sub base, and a top coat. So this should last for a while, but that's really improved. Still don't have the boardwalk done yet, but the boardwalk, we're supposed to get the prices back on that in the next month, and then we'll go ahead and get a PO for those and get the boardwalk fixed to where it can be opened again. Cedar Hill, the whole park except for the maintenance lot, which will get corrected this summer. The whole park got repaved. Also in this park, one of Jackie McKinley's projects, our mechanical, $1.1 million was spent on wiring and conduit for the lighting in the park. NES put the lighting up. We did all the wiring was done for Metro Parks. That was a deal that was done back in the 80s, but that was also improved. All right, William Manuel, he's over our structures and our custodial group. Does a great job for us. All these guys do. This is some of his projects that he's been working on. Gives you some idea of the prices. The Two Rivers Mansion project is about a $4 million project altogether. They're still working on that. And I got up here for 2024. That project is still under construction. It will hopefully be completed this spring. William's back there. He might both on it for sure. Come on, go forward. There we go. So Two Rivers, all this railing, all this stuff has been stripped, painted. Rotten wood's been replaced. And there was a bunch of rotten wood in this project, and this has really been a satisfying project from both historical and upkeep standpoint. More pictures of, you see all the wood and everything. These are all exposed outside, so it's very, very difficult. Some of this wood was replaced with cypress, more expensive, but should last much longer. Kirkpatrick Community Center, the outside was painted, pressure washed, and improved. Then also the inside was, the gym floor was done and also painted, and also new surfacing put down for all the flooring and everything. A lot of kids, a lot of adults go over these surfaces, so they take a beating, but it really turned out to be a really nice project. Parkwood Community Center, this has been going on since before I was assistant director. This is a pretty neat project. This community center was built as you can tell from those apartments up there. It's built in a low point. All right, so the drainage around this building has always been an issue. this project, we feel like we're almost done with it. We ran out of time for the paving plant shut down. Finish this up in the spring when they reopen. This should be a much improvement for the whole area. This corridor right here was about to fall in because this had eroded so bad. So this all got fixed. So I think we really, I like that project. I've been involved in that since the beginning. So we completed it for us. This is more of the work at Parkwood, replaced that piece right there that was in disarray with this piece, and also a new roof at Parkwood. Palmer Arch, cool historic project. You can see up down here on your left, this is what the arch looked like. You can see the brick was all eroding and coming apart. You can see how dirty the arch is. You can see the pieces falling off. There was pieces down here, you don't see in this picture, that were coming away, and this arch was in danger of falling. So we felt it was important to go ahead, and now this is the completed project over here. Much better. The brick's been redone, repointed. All this has been fixed. Pretty cool historic arch there. It's an old school, I believe. Yep. Jackie McKinley does all of our mechanical stuff. He had some large projects this year. One of them was specifically large. Here's just some of the things that they worked on. So the biggest one was the rehab of the pool. This is after it was finished. All right. I'll show you some pictures here. It did not. It was scary looking as we went through it. This pool had never been totally redone since the pool was built in the late 80s. So here we go. You can see right here. These are jackhammers. There are 3 layers of plaster, as many as you can put on a pool. All had to come out. Also, all this stuff, all of that tile work came out. And this went on for about a month and a half to 2 months. They finally jackhammered. All that material had to be shoveled out of the pools. And then they started going back with, this is in a little pool, the marble at the bottom. Then here we go, the marble and the lane line stuff in the big pool. And here we start filling it up, and here is what kind of the final result. Also in that project, that was about $550,000 just for that piece. Now, right here, this is all of the things that went on and changing inside the mechanical room of the pool. I realize this can be boring, but for us, it's really exciting. So anyways, right here, we changed out these are the pool heaters. These actually 2 heat the small pool. One of these, they're backup for each other. It takes 2 to get them up to temperature. 1 can keep temperature. And these are the 2 for the main pool. Same thing here. They got a backup. If something goes down, we have a backup. It can stay in operation, so we don't have to shut down, because it's always a scramble, because none of this stuff is really kept local. All right, and then we have 2 dehumidifier units. This is the smaller one. Does about 30% of dehumidification inside the nanatorium. Fancy word for where the pools are. This replaced a dehumidification system that was not operational for 15 years. So this was pretty cool. Got this put in there again. I realize it's a room with equipment, but we like it. All right, so Seven Oaks. This is a lighting part. Again, courts were redone. This would have been more of Mark's project to get one of the courts redone. This is Jackie's project to light it. We were very excited, as this gentleman here, Mr. Shane Hodge, is very excited about that project. Let me go back. This is our first 4 free pickleball courts in Metro Parks that are pickleball only. They are built for pickleball. There are also 2 tennis only courts. So we're hoping to make these 2 coexist. So far, wildly popular. People there all the time. So it's very cool. Hopefully we'll have more of these opening in the future. That is our plan anyways. Seven Oaks, RBI, which helps disadvantaged youth to be able to get into organized sports, in baseball specifically. None of the lights worked. It was all from the 70s. Reynolds, much like you, I don't need you right now. Here we go. So we put up brand new lighting there. All we're waiting on is NES to plug in our meter and okay it, and we should be good to go in the spring. So that's really good. That's really cool. I think RBI is going to get big use out of that. Plus, we're going to do some work on the field for them too. Now, Randall, you're on stage. Here we go. Randall Lance, legend, been here for a long time. knows more about plants than I ever learned in school or will ever know. So he's over our landscaping and tree crew. Randall does all bedding, plants those every year. Those are a project in themselves. They're still upgrading all the DXI controllers, all the irrigation controllers, so we can get away from go to a cellular-based system rather than a radio-based system. It's a much better deal. It really helps us in controlling our irrigation around the city. We're much more efficient. They planted 324 trees on park-owned property last year. Some of those were replacing like EAB trees that had come out. Of course, can't mention Randall and not mention the he finds, make sure that the tree gets there, and then they light our tree crew and landscape crew light the Metro Christmas tree. So can't miss that. Emerald ash borer, that's really in his wheelhouse. He's working with them. I do help out with that a little bit in meetings and stuff because it is a pretty tall order for this program. Phase 2 removals, the Davy and Save a Tree are getting into now with the bigger trees. We're not out of phase 1 with our tree crew yet because there's so many. We got 1,200 alone in phase 2 for our tree crew. We asked last year and we'll ask again this year for another tree crew to try to help with that. So it's a huge thing we're going through. You probably have heard about it. You've seen the blue dots. And I think that is it. That is all the guys that it makes my job so heck of a lot easier and work for you with their crews every day. And we thank y'all, everybody, once again. And if you got any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Any questions from the board?
I love this report, and thank you. I think a couple of questions.
Sure.
It seemed to me like when we did our tour and maybe last year that you were also maintaining, you had the stats about the areas that you maintain, but I thought you had also maintained do mowing at libraries. Can you just remind us what the maintenance that might not be directly parks?
So the guys who do on the grounds crew, do on overtime, get paid by Metro Water. They don't give us enough equipment, which is something that I'm talking to them about to get us more equipment. But all of the flood properties, and there's 652, possibly more now, flood properties that we mow also throughout the whole mowing season, which is usually April through October. And so we do all those. There are other sites that we do. There are some libraries. Richland, we do that because it's right there. So there are some other sites we do. The big one is the flood properties for Metro Water that we mow.
So there's some revenue that comes as a result of
There's no revenue that comes from I don't think so, for Metro Water. They just pay for the guys to do it, right? It's just paid for through them. It doesn't cost Metro Parks anything.
Okay.
Our budget.
All right. Well, thanks for that reminder.
Sure.
And then there was two other things I wanted to ask about. You had talked about some kind of upgraded technology on mowing. I think you had some automated mowing. Can you give us an update?
We've stumbled a little bit with that. We finally now, I won't say that because the contract hasn't been completed yet, but I think shortly we'll have a contract for electric mowing, autonomous electric mowing. We're going to expand that to just all of Dell is our plans for next year. When we get about a lot more funding from the mayor's office and from council, we'll be able to expand it further than that, we think. But we still are not 100% convinced that this is what we need to do because what we need is we needed to do it without people, without as much input as we're giving it now, and we're working with the vendor on that. And the other thing is we need the quality, turf quality, because it's sports fields, and that's where we can really do them because it's open. We don't have trees or anything, and we can set up these wireless pins, so to speak, so that the mowers can mow within them. But it's the turf quality. I'm not quite convinced yet on the turf quality, like especially what we had at Ted Rhodes. Just so you know, and just as an aside, we just got an award yesterday from the Tennessee Turfgrass Association for the best municipal field at Ted, and it was for Ted Rhodes. So we were very happy about that. The Tennessee Turfgrass Association is our predominant turfgrass association in the state, and we were thrilled. But so that's right. If I get the turf quality there, it's something that, yes, it is a force multiplier if I don't have to spend too much time,
Right.
dealing with them. So it's a really neat because it's solar sheds, so it's 100% renewable that they're running on, right? So that's a positive for everybody. But if I can't get the turf quality there and the man hours don't work like I want them to, then it becomes not as attractive because it is a cost. It is a little bit of cost.
Well, thanks for that, because I thought that was an interesting idea, cost savings opportunity.
It is.
If it works. But,
Right, if it works.
And then my last one is just a reminder for the listening public, because I often will get questions or comments from people about maintenance things in parks. Can you remind the public what the process would be if they notice something in their park and want to share those comments? What would be the process for letting the department know?
Sure. The easiest way for the general public is to go through Hub Nashville. We'll get those requests, and then we'll process them. We hope to starting the next few weeks, and then sometime in the next couple of months, there is a new program, work order system. We've been living on a work order system that was put together in-house out of Microsoft Access back in the 80s. Okay. And it just basically, you print it off, you give it to people. It's all paper, right? And there's no way to really return emails back to let people know, hey, this was done or completed, or why this wasn't done or completed, right? So CityWorks has a new program called CAL. I think NDOT's already on it. We will be like the second or third. Water's doing it now. We're going to get on it. So it will give us, we'll have actually iPads in the field. We'll get that have cell service. They'll be able to get work orders in the field when something happens, if we need to get that to them. And they'll be able to complete work orders. And when that goes back, if it came from Hub, it'll go back through Hub and send an email back to whoever sent that saying this work order for this was completed. So it'll be a really cool system. I think that's even better because I think people get frustrated. I know staff gets frustrated because I get phone calls and emails, but when they don't hear back, right? Or if we get buried in because it's all paper, if that work order gets buried with the 30 others that came in the next day and the 30 others that came in the following day, and then boom, it's hard, So this system will remind us and it'll be useful to us to keep us on track. And I think it'll make us more efficient. I really do. I think it'll be a positive. Everybody's scared of technology. Believe you me, I got people scared of technology, and that's fine. I get it. Sometimes I get scared of technology, but I think it'll be helpful. Yep.
Any other?
No questions per se, but just comments. I mean, one, thank you and thanks for everything that your team does. I always want to compliment what you all do because I know how extensive our park system is, and I'll echo a fellow board member. I really appreciate this report because it's hard to digest it all. I know there's so much that's not on there, but I will say this: our parks are loved and they are beloved, and our communities love them. And a big part of what they expect is exactly what you just showed us that we're doing. So I just wanted to express the appreciation for that because very similarly, a lot of the questions and comments, when is this happening? How do you fix this? How do you do that? And it's always great to be able to go and report and show all the things that we are doing and how much attentiveness we're paying to our parks. So just want to say thanks for that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Just one quick comment. Thank you to the entire landscaping crew for that absolutely breathtaking Christmas tree. I go to the tree lighting every year, and this year, I don't know what it was about that tree. It was absolutely gorgeous. And so, and I got a lot of people commenting on how beautiful it was. It didn't hurt that my Metro Schools babies got an opportunity to perform in front of a really beautiful tree. So thank you to the entire team, and thank you to every single one of your teams because they're doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much. I'll let them know. Thank you.
Thank you for your time today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll move now to our capital projects update with Joe Stovall.
All right. Good afternoon. How are y'all? Happy New Year. We'll start with First and Gay. We have pulled that from procurement in coordination with the Mayor's Office and General Services. We'll be holding that until the fire station number 2 and headquarters is ready for bid, hopefully about this time next year. Cedar Hill Park, we were informed we did not receive the grant, but Director Odom and I are working on a supplemental funding source. Centennial Phase 3 is out for bid, It should be back February the 19th. Fort Negley, Phase 1, still looking at a February, early March bid announcement. Working on the final permit process through Metro for that. Hartman restrooms will be delivered and installed on January the 10th, which is this Friday. The master plan update, the PIP, which is the public engagement plan, the survey, and the state of parks are currently under review by internal staff. And we're also working to schedule Greenway Commission and Park Board stakeholder meetings. So look out for emails on that. Mariposa is out to bid and back February the 15th. Old Hickory Community Center. We are about 40% on the site work. It looks really good. Ravenwood Phase 1, we are looking to install that around January the 15th. So hopefully this time in the next couple of weeks, we'll have that operational. Trinity Hills Phase 1, the design is at 75%. And then the mayor's participatory budget projects for fiscal year 24. Timothy Park, the site work is at 50%. And we're currently scheduling and conducting final inspections for McFerrin, Coleman, and Dudley. We were able to deliver Southwest Community Center at the end of December, and that is operational for public use. So,
Thank you. Are there
Any
any
questions?
questions? Are there any questions? Thank you so much for your time. We'll move now to Greenway's open space update with Cindy Harrison.
Hello, Happy New Year. Glad to give you an update today on our Greenway projects. Starting with the 440 Greenway from Sevier to Browns Creek, we will be putting that project out to bid this year, early this year. The same with the 440 Greenway Park Plaza down to Centennial Park. Also expect that to go out to bid. And a reminder that that one also includes lighting on the existing 440 Greenway. With that project, we've established lighting standards that we intend to use across the system. The Whites Creek Greenway at Hartman Park, another example of working with Metro Water Services there with their flood buyout properties. So not only are we benefiting from the work of the partnership between maintenance and water services, we're able to utilize land that we don't have to pay for through parks. So that project has finished the schematic design, and we're moving into design development. The Mill Creek Greenway Earthwork Project, I don't know if you've heard much about this one, but this is at Mill Creek Park, and it's a simple earthwork project where we have some uncompensated fill that we need to relocate on site. It should take about a week once we get started. So that will be starting this month. The Greenway trailhead upgrades that we're partnering with Greenways for Nashville on continues to be underway. The Cumberland River Greenway signs are completed, and I believe the Richland Creek Greenway is next on this batch of trailhead renovations. The Richland Creek Greenway at Belmead Plaza project, final site plan design is underway, and Harpeth River Greenway at Ariza Bellevue, same. The final site plans have been submitted to us and other agencies for review, so we're doing that. And the last two partnerships with Metro Water Services for additional tree planting at Mullins Park in one of the in loop, and out at Heartland Park between the Water Services treatment plan and our trailhead. We have trees going in out there. That's all I have. You have questions?
All righty. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
We will now, we have upcoming special activities and events. You do have a written report for that. We'll move now to the report of the director, Director Odom.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and Park Board members. Happy New Year, as everybody has said. I hope you all had a great holiday season. I have somewhat of a brief report today, but did want to highlight Phil's report, which was very thorough. And again, it was not exhaustive at all. There's much, much more, as you acknowledged, that they are responsible for and do a great job at. That was not on that report. But I'm happy to report to you that at the last council meeting of last year, we did receive an appropriation of about $28 million in capital funding, and most of that, I'm happy to report it, I think I mentioned to you before, is for deferred maintenance projects. And so it will help our consolidated maintenance team continue to take care of this park system. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but and understand the vastness of this park system. And you also know that we have a significant backlog of deferred maintenance items. And so I want to take this opportunity to thank Mayor O'Connell and Metro Council for their investments in the park system. I very much appreciate that. And I know our team does as well, because this will give them the tools and equipment, resources to do what we need to do to keep our park system in a state of good repair and condition for the public to enjoy. Having said that, we are waiting on one last element of improvement at Brookmead Park. And so we hope to open that park in the next few weeks after this one last element is completed. We are very much looking forward to that. As soon as we have a date and specifics, we will absolutely share that throughout. We are at the tail end of adding point-of-sale systems in our neighborhood centers. You may not have known that we have not had point-of-sale in our smaller neighborhood centers. They have just been in regional community centers. And so having those in the centers makes it much more efficient for those programs or services that we offer for which there is a fee. And so that staffs at neighborhood community centers do not have to transport any kind of cash receipts to our regional centers now. On that note, we had a very productive meeting with Clifton Pay of the mayor's office. He's the director of performance management, about payment processing. We talked about needing an upgraded point of sale system, which John Holmes and his team have been researching and getting some good pricing for us to go to the city leaders with a good cost budget request. But Clifton is working with multiple stakeholders across Metro who accept cash receipts or accept payments. So the county clerk's office, the fire department, parks, and many other offices. And so we are looking forward to being a part of that stakeholder team and informing not only a new point of sale system for us, but something that is Metro-wide, that we will that's really consistent across Metro. I think all of the departments that receive payments need something a little bit different. We are hoping a piece of ours allows us to accept reservations online. I'm very much looking forward to that, and I know our park patrons are as well. So we are working close with the mayor's office and other stakeholders, and I'll keep you abreast of technological improvements as we move through those. As Phil also mentioned in his report, I think Parkwood Community Center is being painted, and the staff there has been distributed elsewhere while those upgrades happen. And then there have been some upgrades as well to Two Rivers Golf Course as well. So that is the end of my report. As you can see, there's lots going on in the park system, even in the cold winter months. This month, we will be, Metro will kick off the budget process, annual budget process, probably next week, a couple weeks. So we will expect to hear budget instructions from the finance director and the mayor, and I will share those with you as well. Any questions?
I know that the winter brings the cold weather shelters, and I know that we expect possibly weather on Friday. Has there been discussion regarding that?
So, since many years ago, a couple of administrations ago, metro parks were sometimes used as emergency cold weather shelters. Since then, the Office of Homeless Services has taken over kind of the unsheltered services for our city, moved that from social services, and there is a school building on Brick Church Pike that they now utilize, and staff for cold weather shelter, overflow shelters. There, I know they have discussed and have plans for, and the shelters open all this week, given the cold temperatures. But for our community centers, we are not in that space any longer. And we are very supportive, but we appreciate that. You know all the challenges that came with that, so.
Yes. Thank you. All righty. Seeing none, we're moving now to announcements, requests for future agenda items and open items. Are there any? Yes. Commissioner Mays.
Yes, ma'am. So, as I think most of you know, I serve as the chair for the Nashville MLK Day Planning Committee, and we will be kicking off our week of events starting on this coming Sunday. And those events will run from Sunday to January 20th, which is MLK Day, which will end our events with our annual march down Jefferson Street and our convocation. If you want to get a full scope of all of the events that are available, you can go to the website, which is mlkdaynashville.com. And I'm excited that this year we will be holding our annual premiere event, which is the gala at the Parthenon. And we are at this point, tickets will be on sale until 5 p.m. today, and we had to stop sales because we are close to being sold out of that event. It will be an amazing event, and the proceeds from that event go to support students in HBCUs right here in Nashville. So we will be making sure that our students have an opportunity to stay in school, provide them with any additional support that they need as they are enrolled in the schools here in Nashville. So again, those events begin on Sunday, January 12th, and run through Monday, January 20th. And we would love to have everyone join us for the annual march. We're celebrating our 40th year of celebrating MLK Day here in Nashville. So it's going to be a pretty big event. And the bonus is, and we haven't really shared this with a lot of people, but we have 3 of our local marching bands who will be participating in the march this year. So I'm very excited about that. It's never been done before, so it'll be a great time. So please join us. Thank you.
Are you announcing the speaker for the convocation?
I would gladly announce the speaker for the convocation. It is Dr. Daniel Black, who currently serves as a professor of African American Studies at Clark Atlanta University and a renowned author. So I'm excited that he will be here sharing his insights with us, and it'll be an amazing event. So I encourage everyone to come and join us for our 40th anniversary event. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other announcements or future agenda items for consideration? All righty, I'll accept a motion to adjourn. Y'all want to go? Really? That was really quick. Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.